pleased with those, and so is Juliette. Although she didn't know she was pleased, but she was. She was like, oh, yay, Starbucks mugs, you know? In a couple of years, give it a couple of years, she'll be excited. My family calls it my superpower. It's my ability to see value in things that other people might overlook. Sometimes I go picking with my boyfriend, sometimes it's my best friend Sue, and sometimes it's my kids. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun and hopefully just maybe making a profit. Okay, out on the table here, I have everything that I purchased in my most recent shopping video with Juliette. We just decided to go shopping and we had a blast as usual. Found some really weird gnomes and whatnot. Make sure you go check out that video if you haven't already. There's a link to it down in the description. But right now I'm going to talk a little bit about everything that we got, what we paid for it, and how much it's worth. So, you can see we didn't really get a whole lot. There wasn't really a whole lot to be had. We hit 2 Goodwills, and on certain days, you can tell when the manager's there because they've been kind of switching over to Goodwill online. So the managers are there grabbing stuff off of the shelves. And oh, there's one more thing I'm missing. Wait. Ta-da! Okay. So you can tell when the manager is there because they are grabbing stuff off the shelf and kind of whisking it away to the back to put it online. So it's a little bit harder for me to find stuff to resell, but as you can see, I'm still able to do it. So we're gonna go over the stuff real quick, and we were able to make some money, but not as much as we are when the manager's not there. So let's go over it real quick. Where should we start? Let's start with this box purse that I grabbed. I was so excited when I saw this, and actually it was kind of a live reaction on video because I had the camera rolling and I saw it on the shelf and it was like, is that an Enid Collins? Like you could hear it in my voice. I was so excited because I saw it. It was laying down. I saw the bling. I thought, is that like Enid Collins box purse? Oh my God. And I was so excited that I just like, all my rational thought just kind of went away. And I'm staring at the thing, and of course I have to glue that back on. All my rational thought kind of just went out the window, and I'm like not even looking at the object. I'm just thinking, Enid Collins, Enid Collins. It's like just all my thoughts are gone. Now, when I get home and all of that adrenaline is gone and I'm looking at it and I'm like, what the heck was I doing? It's in really rough shape. Not only is it in rough shape, but it is so clearly a kit. You can see they actually have little numbers which probably coordinated with the little gems that you would glue on to the kit. So these still sell for money. I only paid $2 for it, but I think I'm gonna make this into a fun project for Juliette since she was there with me. And what we're actually going to do is I'm going to take her to the craft store. We're gonna buy some bling, and we're actually I'm gonna take off what's on there and we're gonna glue some of our own bling on there and make it our own. So this is not an Enid Collins, but if you are ever out at the thrift store and you spot a box purse similar to this with lots of bling that's higher quality and isn't like beat up, and it says Enid Collins on it, she usually signed her work. It's worth money. Grab it. So this is not an Enid Collins. It is probably a kit. They had a lot of kits because she made such beautiful work. They're like, let's make box purse kits, and so definitely not an Enid Collins, but I was very hopeful. I've never found one out in the wild, so this was my moment, and it was a fail. But anyway, we also found, let's move on, this Art Nouveau vase. I believe it is French. It is a beautiful little vase. It has a flower. It's kind of majolica. It's got markings on the bottom. I don't know if you can see those with the camera. It's stamped, and it has what appears to be a signature that I can't really make out. Unfortunately, on the back here, it does have a chip. Fortunately, it is on the back though. So I believe that the maker of this is, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's a French artist, and I'm sure I'll put it down below here when I think of the name. But it is a beautiful vase, and I think I could probably get, I want to say between $20 and $30 for it in its current condition. If it was in better condition, I could get probably a lot more for that. But because of that chip on the back, I mean, if you were to buy it and display it, it would be fine. It does have smaller, older chips, and you can tell that they're older because they're dark. They're not white. This one on the back looks like it might have been newer, probably when they donated it to Goodwill. It got, unfortunately, chipped. All right, some more stuff we got. Juliette picked out this little fox. It's just such a cute, she's like her mom. She loves fox. So she picked out this little fox. It's, I don't even know, worth $5, but she liked it and I liked it, so it came home with us. And it's just the stone critters from 1984. So that's why that's out on the table, because we did pick that up. Moving on. You guys know I'm always like, don't buy milk glass, don't buy milk glass. I should follow my own rules. I really should, because I probably shouldn't have bought this, but there was just something about it that I liked, and it was one of those things where if I got stuck with it, I would be okay with that. So it wasn't necessarily a resale buy. I'm going to list it. I'm going to attempt to resell it, but in the back of my mind, it's okay if I get stuck with it. I like it. It's kind of farmhouse chic. And now that I live in an old farmhouse, I think it would be great decor. Now this would sell between, I want to say $18 and $25. It is just a glass milk jug, and it's decorated on the outside with a cow, and it says milk. I guess that's fitting that it's milk glass and it says milk on it. How much did I pay for this? Did I take the sticker off? No, I didn't. I paid $4 for this. So I'm gonna make a little bit of profit there. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And that's if it sells. So moving along. Now I also bought these mugs. You guys know I love coffee mugs. I got a lot of coffee mugs out here right now, actually. I like these. Now these are made by a ceramics artist in Maine, hence the blueberries. And I can't remember their names. This video is just, it's lacking this morning because my coffee intake is lacking. But I just love the blueberries. I think that's what caught my eye, and the weight of them when I picked them up. You guys know I'm always, not only am I looking with my eyes, but I'm feeling the objects. I'm feeling the quality of them, the weight of them. Sometimes the thinness of them. When I'm picking up porcelain, I'm feeling how thin they are. Especially the Chinese plates, when I pick them up, how thin they are. That tells me the age of them. So I'm feeling the weight. I like the weight of these mugs. They're quality mugs. I like the blueberries on them. So I grabbed the mugs. I paid $2. So I paid $1 a piece for them. I think I could probably get like, I don't know, like $18 for the 2 mugs. Moving on. Let's talk about, let's just say we're still at the first thrift shop. I picked up this wooden caddy, and I really liked this. And actually, as soon as I brought it in the door, I set it down on my couch and I put the remotes in it. And Andrew and I were talking about it. I'm like, do you like that? He's like, it's all right. I'm like, should I sell it? And he's like, why don't you try and see? And if it sells, it sells. If not, we'll keep it. I paid $5 for this. It's a wooden caddy. Technically, it could be used for remotes or whatever, tools. I wouldn't use it for tools, though. It's too pretty to be used for tools. It is signed by the artist. Where is it? I thought it was, anyway. Oh, Grace. It's made by Grace. Grace made it. But I thought the painting was really nice. I liked it. It's good quality. I mean, the bottom is a little bit like, she could have got that flush. Grace, you could have got it flush, you know? But I liked the painting, so that was nice. I'm gonna set this up here. Okay. Also, oh my gosh, even Juliette thought this was cool. Now this is vintage. I want to say probably 60s or 70s. You guys can go ahead and correct me if I am wrong, but my thoughts are 60s or 70s. Now the ring light is going to wreak havoc on this. Oh, maybe not. No, I can see in the, yeah, okay. Check it out. Isn't it cool? It is reverse painted on glass. It is a frog. Although Juliette was almost convinced it was a toad, and I'm trying to tell her, it's in the water, sweetheart. That would make it a frog. And she's like, oh mom, it's a toad. Okay, Juliette, whatever you say. I do believe it is a frog, possibly a bullfrog, if we're gonna debate what kind of animal this is. But I liked the way, when I was looking at it, I liked the way it was framed. I liked how primitive it was framed. You've got the nails here, you've got a shoelace to hang it. I like that about it. I like the character. I like that it's folk art. And it's foil. It's reverse painted, and then this is aluminum foil. So I paid $2 for it, and I'm thinking I would ask probably $25 to $35 for it. The problem is I have to find a box to ship it in before I list it. So it might take a little while to end up in my Etsy shop, but it will end up there. That is, unless Juliette wants the toad hanging in her room, but I don't think that's the case. She was pretty adamant about that not being the case. So oh gosh. And I picked up a second one of these 2 days later. Another foil. I don't see it. I would grab it and show you guys. I'd give you a preview, but I don't see it sitting around anywhere. It's not a frog. It's like a little child with a big hat. Probably a lot more 70s, but another foil painting like that. It was really cool. Anyway, this bag, I believe, is handmade, hand sewn. Somebody crocheted a little butterfly on there. I liked the color, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was really nice. It's kind of sad that this was probably handmade for somebody and it ended up in the Goodwill, so I rescued it. I would probably list it for like, I want to say 25 bucks. But it's a crossbody, I guess you would call it. A crossbody purse. But I thought it was nice, so that's gonna go up in my shop as well. Moving right along, let's talk about the stuff we got at the second Goodwill. Now, Juliette was such a great help at the second Goodwill because she actually helped me spot this ceramic kitty. I mean, I spotted it and she's like, oh yeah, look at that, that's great. She's got an eye for it, folks. So I really like this sleeping kitty. The bottom actually is really, really white, but I think it does have some age to it. It does have some natural crazing. I don't believe that was part of the glazing. I think it is natural crazing. For this, I would probably ask $25 to $35. I do believe it is vintage. I would probably actually say that this might be 1970s, 1980s. Probably. I don't think it's mid-century, but I paid $3 for it. So, sleeping kitty cat. Let's not break anything on our table. Okay, moving right along. We're gonna talk about this. Now, this is actually super cool. It took me a while to research this because it's made by Syracuse, China, but it's not a common pattern. I mean, it's not common at all. It's restaurant wear. It's this thick, well, restaurant wear. I saw it because I just bought a new kitchen table from one of my previous neighbors, 1950s awesome kitchen table. And she was telling me how she's getting rid of all her Fiesta wear because she's switching over to restaurant wear. And so she was showing me some of her restaurant wear, and so it's fresh in my mind, and I saw this and I thought, I like that. I like it's like flowers and birds. It's a very nice pattern. So I grabbed it and I had such a hard time researching it. And so I looked it up, and I have it on my phone here because I'm not going to remember it off the top of my head. So, here it is. This particular pattern, it doesn't have a name, it has a number. And it's actually called, are you ready for this? SY, probably for Syracuse, 671. That is the name of this pattern. It does not have a name. And it was made for the Bowman Miami Biltmore Hotel of Coral Gables, Florida, which was opened in 1926. So that's really cool. It wasn't like just sold to people. It was made specifically for the hotel. So I don't know if somebody lifted this, if this was lifted, or maybe like when the hotel, I don't know if the hotel's still there, but maybe when they switched over there to New China, they just liquidated it all. But I thought that was a very cool piece that I didn't even know, and it was $2. I'm not even sure what I would sell it for. I don't know what it goes for, but I thought that was a really neat history for that piece. So I'm glad I picked that up. I just saw it and I liked the pattern of it, SY671 or whatever it is. So I had to have that. But moving along, let's talk about these mugs here. Now, I'm always looking at mugs. And one of the reasons that I am so drawn to mugs is I am determined to find a valuable Starbucks mug. I mean, that is my treasure quest. I am like after one of the most valuable Starbucks mugs that I can find. And one of those mugs would be Tokyo. That's like at the top of my list. I want to find Tokyo. A Tokyo mug, Starbucks mug, is worth between $450 and $550. The city mug. Okay, so Juliette and I were looking at mugs, and Starbucks You Are Here mugs, hello. 3 of them just sitting on the shelf. Now these are not Tokyo mugs, okay, but we only paid $1 a piece for them. So we got Atlanta, we got Detroit, and we got Memphis. Now, these are not $400 mugs, but we only paid $1 a piece for them, and they're worth $20 to $25 a piece. They were made in 2013. So, they're not Tokyo, but they'll do. So I was really pleased with finding these because these are like what I'm looking for when I'm looking for, I mean, I'm looking for other mugs, but, oh, Starbucks mugs. So, I was pretty pleased with those, and so is Juliette. Although she didn't know she was pleased, but she was. She was like, oh, yay, Starbucks mugs, you know? In a couple of years, give it a couple of years, she'll be excited. I grabbed this. I don't know why. It's a Pennsylvania mug. I liked the sun. I thought the sun kind of had a cool look to it. The best part about it, though, is the bottom is marked made in China. And I thought, you know, I think I need a Pennsylvania mug that's made in China. Why not? So I grabbed it, and now I'm probably gonna try to sell it. If it doesn't sell, I'll keep it. You never have too many coffee mugs, right? So I think that pretty much sums it up. That is everything that we got on this shopping trip with Juliette. And we had a lot of fun. We got some stuff. We're gonna make some money, and it's always fun. We always have fun together, and I think she enjoys it. I do, even though I torment her with like gnomes and stuff, and she likes it, I think. I don't know, as an adult, she's just gonna be afraid of gnomes and everybody's gonna think she's weird, but it's okay. It's okay, building memories together. So make sure you go check out the shopping video that I posted yesterday. Make sure you go hop on over and check out my other channel, Relic Recoverist, where I post the occasional shopping video, but I do a lot of metal detecting for really old 200-year-old treasures. And I will catch you guys next time. Later. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've spotted something that you just can't live without, don't worry. I've put a link to our Etsy store down in the description.